Hi everyone and welcome back to Tropical Gloss. Now every palm grower talks about which are the best species to survive winters. But most of the advice you find out there is for established palms. But what if they're very young? Well, I've been growing palms here for the past few years. So in this video we're going to look at what I've learned, the mistakes I've made and the improvements I've made to help these plants survive the winter. I've divided these palm trees into three different categories. The first one is expected survivors. The second one is wildcards, and then the third one are the challenges. So let's have a look in a little bit more detail of the trees in each group. So what I'll do for each one of these palm trees is I will put the lowest listed temperatures that I could find on the internet, and then later on in the video we're going to talk about the expected reality. So the first one is Trachycarpus Fortunei. We also have Trachycarpus wagnerianus, very similar to the Fortunei but with stiffer leaves. There's also Chamaerops humilis, the European fan palm. And in the group as well is the Chamaerops vulcano. So waggies and Trachycarpus Fortunei, like these two, when they get to this sort of size, so you've got a good foot of trunk there, it's getting quite thick. That means that the root ball underneath is quite hefty, so they don't really need protection. Not until we get to severe minus conditions. What I would say with the waggies, with the Chamaerops, both humilis and also the vulcanos, is as long as the soil is well drained, then you shouldn't really get a problem over winter. It's when you get thick, claggy soils, you get a potential root rot. If the weather does get too cold, what you can do is put a little bit of fleece just in the top of the plant there, around where the new leaves will come out, just to give it that added protection. While you're watching this video, do me a favour and hit subscribe. Also hit the like and the updates bell, especially if you want to see how these palms get on over winter and into spring next year. The next group of trees are the wildcards. These require just either a little bit more protection or they're a little bit more unknown. So in this we have Butia odorata or capitata. And you've also got the Trachycarpus princeps, a beautiful palm when fully established, but a little bit more difficult when it's young. And then Trachycarpus Fortunei crossed with princeps. So when I originally bought this, I know the name's changed over a few years, but this was Trachycarpus Fortunei cross princeps hybrid. My Butia odorata is in a pot, has been potted up this year, but what I'm trying to do is grow it in the pot, because if it's too small and in the ground, there's a very high chance it's going to die. So by keeping it in a pot, I can move it around, create a microclimate that is going to protect it over winter. And if it does get too cold, what I will do is I will put it into the greenhouse just for that coldest period, because there have been many reports of these dying while basically an immature palm. So small palms like this princeps here, in my personal opinion and through a little bit of experiences, I wouldn't put this in the ground for winter. The reason being, I had experiences especially with this one here, the Trachycarpus Fortunei hybrid, princeps hybrid. That spear pulled was this size when I first got it. I put it in the ground because the root mass and the trunk mass is very small. It doesn't have the capability of withstanding low temperatures, and when you combine that with wet and freezing temperatures, you're going to get rot inside the growing point and the spear will pull. Now, it doesn't mean it's the end of the plant, but what it can do is get more water inside where the spear pulls out, freeze inside, and that will eventually kill the plant. So my personal preference for palms this size, or even this size, is to keep them in pots and protect them throughout the winter that way. So this is the area where I'm overwintering the wildcards. It's a really secluded area. In summer I have this as a shady border display, but for now it's going to store or house over winter the Trachycarpus princeps hybrid and also the Butia. So I've got a really good overhead protection from the eaves of the house here. I've also got a fence protecting from the north, so behind the Butia there is north, and where the greenhouse is east, so a good bit of protection there. So it's very secluded, good bit of natural kind of microclimate to help them survive. And if the Trachycarpus princeps gets too cold, as it's so young, it's like a 3 feet movement into the heated greenhouse. So this is where they are going to live for the winter. Now I do have lots of insulation that I can wrap around the pots, also old blankets, fleece, etc., that I can protect the plants with a little bit more if needed, but yeah, for now I think that'll do. And then my third group of trees are the challengers. So these are completely unknown to me, or not that hardy within the UK. So in this we have the Sabal bermudana. We also have the Washingtonia robusta, and then the Livistona chinensis. So the Livistona chinensis, I know that Jim's Palms, also on YouTube, well worth a watch. He has experimented these outside. He likes pushing zones, and it has defoliated many times. I'm not prepared to lose these leaves. Washingtonia robusta is not purportedly very hardy at all, despite what some of the big chain online stores tell you. So that will also have to find a better place over winter. And the one that's really bizarre, or the one I know very little about, apart from its growing, apart from where it originates from, is the Sabal bermudana. Now purportedly very cold hardy, but we don't get the temperatures in the UK for this to grow into a very large palm. So it means that the winters are very cold where it comes from, but not too wet. Ours are cold and wet. So this is going to need protection over winter. So for the challenges over winter, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring the leaves together. I've got this Velcro plant tape, which is exceptionally useful. I'm just going to bunch them up. The reason being, save space, also just prevents any kind of rot where leaves touch and things like that on other plants. So that's the Livistona bunched up. I'll do the Sabal next. It's a lot easier because there's not so many leaves on the Sabal. And then the final one is a Washingtonia. So these are going to go in the shed over winter, where it does go below zero, but there's no frost, and it also is dry. They can come out on the sunny and warmer days, but yeah, I think they'll be quite happy in there. This Sabal lived in the greenhouse over winter, but I'm going to try it out in the shed this time. Same thing for the Washingtonia and Livistona's new. So got to whack them in the shed, and that's where they're going to live for the winter. So that's how I'm protecting my more tender palms this winter. I'll be really interested to know how you are doing it to yours, or how you're giving protection to your more tender palm trees. Any hints and tips would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see the most extreme winter protection, then head on over to New York Tropical Garden. My friend Tim over there has yeah, serious overwintering. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and subscribing, and if you haven't done so, please click that button, and I'll see you on the next video.